A narcissist is their own biggest enemy. This is what I always say. It's their own actions that lead to their demise. They are their own karma. And I do not say it because I'm angry or I'm being vindictive. It's my angle because I have seen it happening. I see it happen. And it does not ever happen by accident. They never reflect, they never look within. They walk through the world acting as if they are perfect. They need no improvement. Everybody was created to serve their ego, and they can just rule everybody and everything. But life does not work that way, does it? While digging graves for others, they forget God or the universe is watching. They forget that in the shadow of their plotting, their own grave is being dug, which does not even cross their mind. But ultimately, when they fall in it, they fall deep and forever, and that's how they suffer. We're going to talk about it today. I'm Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. The topic for this one is 7 things a narcissist does to destroy their destiny. Before we dive in, we're just 1K away from 500K subscribers. I really appreciate your support. If you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and push that subscribe button. Thank you. Now, let's start with number 1. They burn every bridge behind them. The first thing narcissists do is they systematically destroy every meaningful relationship in their life. They do not just end relationships, they burn them to ground. They make sure that when they leave, there is no going back. They will betray their closest friends, backstab their business partners, and humiliate their romantic partners in ways that ensure these people will never trust them ever again. What they do not realize is that relationships are the foundation of everything in life. As they say, your network is your net worth. Your connections determine opportunities. But narcissists are so focused on winning every single interaction, on being right, on dominating every conversation, that they leave destruction in their wake. I have seen narcissists who had incredible opportunities. I'm talking about great business deals, romantic partnerships, career advancements, and they threw it all away. Why? Because they could not resist the urge to prove they were superior. They would rather be right than successful. How stupid is that? They would rather win the argument than win in life. Number 2, they refuse to learn from their own mistakes, the biggest flaw. Narcissists have this incredible ability to rewrite history in their minds. Every failure becomes someone else's fault. Every mistake becomes a misunderstanding. Every criticism becomes an attack from jealous people. They never sit down and honestly assess what went wrong and what they could have done differently. That never happens. This is devastating for their growth because learning from mistakes is how humans evolve. It is how we get better. But narcissists are so invested in their perfect self-image that they cannot afford to admit they were wrong. So they keep making the same mistakes over and over again. I watched narcissists lose job after job, relationship after relationship, always blaming everyone else. They never connect the dots. They never see the pattern. They are like someone walking into the same wall every day and blaming the wall for moving. Number 3, they overestimate their abilities and underestimate others. Narcissists live in this delusional bubble where they think they are exceptional at everything. They think they are smarter than their doctors, more skilled than their mentors, more talented than professionals who have been doing something for decades. This leads them to take on challenges they are not prepared for and dismiss advice from people who could actually help them. Meanwhile, they highly underestimate everyone around them. They think their employees are idiots, their partners are beneath them, their friends are lucky to know them. This means they never tap into the wisdom, skills, and connections of the people in their lives. They miss out on collaboration, mentorship, and genuine partnership. I've seen narcissists start businesses they knew nothing about, invest in markets they did not understand, and pursue careers they were not qualified for, all because they believed their natural superiority would carry them through. When reality hits, they're completely unprepared. Number four, they choose short term gratification over long term success. Narcissists are emotional toddlers. They want what they want when they want it. They can't delay gratification, you know it. They can't make sacrifices today for benefits tomorrow. Everything is about immediate validation, immediate pleasure, immediate recognition. This is where you see their addictions come into play. And I'm not just talking about drugs or alcohol, though these are quite common. I'm talking about their addiction to attention, right? Their addiction to drama, their addiction to being right, their addiction to control, to your pain. They are addicted to shopping, to gambling, to sex, to social media validation, anything that gives them a sense of self, that immediate hit of feeling superior or special, better than thou. These addictions become their master. They will sacrifice their health, sleep, their relationships, career, and their finances, all for what? That next fix. As I've shared before, I've seen narcissists blow through inheritances, destroy marriages, lose custody of their children, all because they could not resist the immediate gratification of their addiction. And here is the thing, then their addictions aren't just about the substance or behavior. They are addicted to the chaos it creates because chaos puts them at the center of attention. They are addicted to the drama, the crisis, the emergency situations where everyone has to focus on them and their problems. This destroys their destiny because success in life requires patience, discipline, and the ability to work toward long term goals. You have to plant seeds today that may not bear fruit for years. You have to make investments that do not pay off immediately. You have to build trust and reputation slowly over time. But narcissists want the reward right now, and that too without the work. They want the recognition without the achievement. They want the lifestyle without the sacrifice. So, what do? They take shortcuts, make impulsive decisions, and abandon projects the moment they become difficult or boring. Their addiction to immediate gratification becomes the enemy of their future success. Number five, they create enemies instead of allies. Narcissists have this compulsive need to prove they're better than everyone else. They can't just be successful. They need to make sure others know they are failures. That's how they are. They can't just win. They need to humiliate the losers. They turn every interaction into a competition somehow, every conversation into a battle. This creates enemies everywhere they go. People who could have been allies become adversaries. People who could have supported them become obstacles. People who could have opened doors for them slam those doors shut. Life is hard enough without turning everyone around you into an opponent. Success requires cooperation, support, and goodwill from others. But narcissists are so focused on proving their superiority that they create resistance everywhere they go. They make their own journey 10 times harder than it needs to be. Number six, they sabotage their own success when it does not match their grandiose fantasies. They have this specific vision of how their success should look, how they should be recognized, how others should react to their achievements. When their real success does not match their fantasy, when they are successful but not worshipped, when they are doing well but not being praised enough, when they are achieving but not being recognized as the genius they believe they're actually, when they're achieving but not being recognized as the genius they believe they are, they actually destroy what they have built. I have seen narcissists walk away from profitable businesses because they were not getting enough credit. It was only for credit. You know how they end successful relationships? Ask yourself, you gave them everything. What else did they need? But they still destroyed it, right? They would rather have nothing than something that does not feed their ego the way they imagined. Number seven and the last one, they refuse to adapt or change. The final thing narcissists do to destroy their destiny is they refuse to adapt. The world changes, industries evolve, relationships require growth, but narcissists stay frozen in their perfect self image. They think they have already figured everything out, they know it all. So, why would they need to change? This is catastrophic in today's world where adaptability is survival. Markets shift overnight. Technologies advance, social norms evolve. The people who succeed are the ones who can learn, grow, and adjust their approach. But narcissists are so invested in being right about everything that they cannot pivot when circumstances change. They become like dinosaurs, once dominant but unable to adapt to a changing environment. They watch their industries pass them by, their relationships outgrow them, their opportunities disappear. Why? All because they were too proud to acknowledge that maybe, just maybe, they needed to evolve. So, how can we bring all of this to a conclusion? These seven behaviors create a perfect storm of self destruction. Narcissists do not just fail, they ensure their failure is complete and permanent. They do not just lose opportunities, they make sure those opportunities never come back. They do not just damage relationships, they make sure those relationships can never be repaired. And the tragedy is that many narcissists have real talents and abilities. They could achieve great things if they could just get out of their own way. But their ego becomes their prison, arrogance becomes their downfall, and their refusal to look within becomes their ultimate destruction. The universe has a way of humbling those who refuse to humble themselves. And for narcissists, that humbling comes too late to change course. Their destiny is not destroyed by their enemies, it is destroyed by their own hands, one choice at a time. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe and share it with others. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.